Okay guys, welcome back. It has started. The Lions tour has started with a win. A very poor win, but a win nonetheless. I've got Tom with me today. Alex will be back, but we've got able replacement in Tom.
Absolutely.
We're a large touring party here on the Lions, so Tom's in. And just to mention, we're filming with kind permission of Richard Taunton Sixth Form College in Southampton. A link below, loads of courses, vocational and academic, and loads of sports academies as well. Okay, so Tom, what we're going to do is, I believe you've got a load of questions about this tight win. But to start with, Tom, I just want to mention how great the New Zealand Barbarians were. Yeah, you impressed?
Who's not impressed?
Absolutely.
What a great performance for such what we would consider a low-level team.
Well, this is it. This was the lowest level team they're going to play, but they played amazingly. And it just shows you the structure of New Zealand rugby is so good. They weren't internationals, they weren't Super Rugby players, they were second-tier players, yes, professional, but the system they played was the New Zealand system. How could they come together as a scratch team and play so well? It's because that's what they do. All the forwards were comfortable on the ball, loads of interplay, they mixed up their strategy, they kicked to the corners when they had to, they moved the ball wide when they had to, and they were just fantastic. So all you guys out there who are Kiwi subscribers and viewers, just comment how well they did. Tell me the players that did well, who you're going to get Super Rugby contracts out of it. Bryn Gatland obviously was awesome, mixed up his tactics amazingly. So I do want to get that there first. New Zealand Barbarians were brilliant, but we are here to analyse the Lions. So Tom, kick me off. What are we doing? Okay, so
on the other note, yes, brilliant, some expansive rugby played. What about the Lions though? Why such a poor performance?
Okay, I get the fact that they were jet lagged. I get the fact they haven't had much time together. But like the Kiwi press, they're giving them no, get out here. They knew the schedule, they're top players, some players perform really well, so I'm not really buying it completely, although I do sympathise and I'll let them off this game. I'm not panicking for the tour, but we've got to analyse it in isolation. It was a poor game. I think individually they played very poorly. Yeah, there were problems with the attack, it took a while to get the shape of the attack right and things like that, but there were loads of individual mistakes, and that's why I reckon they played so poorly. Okay,
so talking about individuals, we'll go through it. So yeah. Obviously you've got some scores that you're going to go through, but we'll talk about each player individually as well, and who's done themselves any good in terms of moving forward on the tour, and who's probably hindered their chances of representing the Lions.
Who do you want to start with then?
Why don't we start with Sexton?
Okay, cool. So we'll whack up below. This is the pecking order, as I'm going to call it. Every game we'll do the pecking order, and it's just which players I think are moving up and down in the order of who's going to start the tests, who's third choice, all that sort of thing. You'll see some players scoring quite highly and not moving because it depends where they were to start with. I'm kind of making it up, but it's good fun. Sorry, who did you say? Who did you want to start with?
Well, we'll start with the falling stock.
Yeah,
why not?
Falling stock.
So I've gone with Sexton because I envisage that's...
Yeah, obviously. Sexton I gave 2. Remember, 5 is my standard score, average international performance 5. Sexton had a shocker, okay? He's a class player, I like him a lot. He's going to get better because you can't get any worse. But my God, Tom, he was awful. His passing was so erratic. I think, reading into it, in the week he's putting himself under pressure. He sees there being a big battle between himself and Farrell, and he went out and tried too hard. As you'll know, against Leinster and for Ireland, he does loads of no-look passes, off the shoulder, pull behinds, without really looking. And when your players know what you do, your teammates all around you, you play with them all the time, and you're in good form, that works. Really bad decision, I think, for him to do that. He did loads of no-look passes that didn't work. He should have just played nice and simple.
And that was being fair. Okay, Hogg.
Hogg, I gave a 3. Yes, in attack he's awesome. We know that, okay? That is given. But it's the rest of his game that there's question marks over, and he's put those question marks in there again. Awful pass to Watson, 2-on-1. You cannot butcher those against New Zealand in the Test series. Some other mistakes as well. I just think his stock has fallen from probably being maybe the first choice fullback. He's really plummeted his stock. And I know there's jet lag, I know it's the first game, but this is the facts. It was the first game for the Lions, and he was poor.
Laidlaw?
Yeah, okay. I think we'll just probably stick with Laidlaw and then just mention the rest briefly. Now, the reason I gave him a 3, and some newspaper said he played okay, was I just wasn't impressed. His breaks around the fringes were quite slow, Tom. I know he's not the quickest, but he just didn't really go for it. A couple of times a few gaps opened for him to go, and he still gave the pass outside to his forwards coming forward, so he wasn't really playing what he saw. And what I didn't like is when he comes around to the ball to get the ball away quickly, he goes for these flip passes a lot, rather than getting his hands sorted for a fraction of a second and whisking the quick spin pass away. He will just float it out, and it takes ages for the ball to get through to the 10 or the forwards, and it slowed the game down. Comment below if you agree with me there. I just thought his service was slow, and he popped the ball out more than he needed to. Just whiz that ball away when you can. You'll see the New Zealand scrum halves do that fantastically, Perinara and they'll just Smith, and they'll just whiz it away. The other guys there,
yeah, the rest of your falling stock, you got Henderson, Joseph, Best, and Marler.
Yeah, I just thought they were average. Henderson didn't impress me, neither did the others. Best was average, Marler was average. They were okay, but I can't see them. They're not pushing themselves forward. So yeah, I put them down as falling.
Okay, and then those who you think haven't done any harm, but haven't done any good, I suppose, sort of playing level.
Yeah.
You know, people you want to pick out from there, or?
Yeah, just the top 2 really. Jones and Warburton, I thought had good games. Okay, 6 and 7, I thought they had good games, but I just don't see them changing their positioning there. Warburton still looks like the starting 7. Jones is very high up there in the second rows. I thought his leadership was good. And the rest either didn't get into the game, didn't have a chance to get into the game, or just didn't do anything particularly wrong or impressive.
So that's Furlong, Watson, Seymour and George.
Yeah, I think they just stay kind of where they are, really.
Yeah. And then those who have impressed you so far. So we've seen it does take a lot to impress you.
No.
Okay. So you know, people you want to pick out in particular there, that maybe the top 3.
Yeah, top 3. Top 3. Moriarty, maybe I should have put as an 8. I only put him as a 7, Tom, because he started quite slow.
Right.
But those Faletau, Sinclair, Teo, Moriarty, they stood out for me massively. Faletau looks class. A few more games, I think, will be right there. Teo was awesome. He's put himself right in the picture for a starting 12 slot, especially because Sexton was poor and Farrell was better. I think Farrell's pushed himself more into the 10 slot, which makes him less likely to play 12. Teo, being a 12, put himself right there, put the pressure on Henshaw. Sinclair was awesome. He had the perfect psychology for this game. He just went and played. Carried hard, good hands, good work rate. Fantastic. I think he's right there.
Just quickly,
yeah.
Any of them players who you think are now put themselves completely out of contention?
Completely out of contention? No, I mean, at this stage, I'm not going to overreact. It was the first game. There were excuses. No one's out of contention, but certainly I think Laidlaw, maybe, Marler, Henderson
have discredited themselves.
Well, they were quite lowish to start with in the pecking order, and they just stayed down there, so they're going to have to go some, I think. Okay. But you know, for the bench, for the test team, Sinclair's almost right there, I think, at the moment. I know it's early days. The other guys I pick out, George Cruz. In the selection meeting you were at, Tom, I pushed George Cruz really heavily, and that's why. He came on and he changed the game. In the line out, they weren't nicking any ball from the opposition. He comes on, they steal ball. He's such a great technician in the line-out and around the park. I think he's so crucial in that line-out. He could almost be, you know, the test starter calling those line-outs.
You can't undervalue players like that who can change a game, can you?
Absolutely. And the bench was, you know, really strong in this game. I thought the starting team was weaker than the bench, and the team playing the Blues, I believe, is about the same strength as the starting team this time.
Okay, so you've started to touch on Wednesday, so we might as well carry on with that.
Yeah, okay.
So obviously the game against the Blues on Wednesday. Yeah. What's your predictions?
Really hard to call. I mean, I think the Lions will win. Again, the order of scheduling is not bad here, because the Blues are the weakest New Zealand super team, even though they're a really good team and they're better than like all the Australians and that. They're a good team, but they are the weakest New Zealand team. But again, I don't think it's the strongest Lions 15, and it's early in the tour. So this is really in the balance. The Lions have to win. I really think they have to win to get some momentum on this tour. It's going to be fascinating. Lions have got a massive... The team's out already. They've got a massive pack, really solid midfield. They've got to do everything they didn't do in this game, Tom. They've got to control the pace. They've got to kick the corners. They've got to squeeze the set piece. Get some territory. All those basics they didn't do in the first half of this game, they need to do and dominate that blue side. If the Blues start attacking, counter-attacking, you know, moving the ball wide, could be problems. Could be problems, yeah.
Okay, and what about further along the line to Saturday when we play the Crusaders?
It's not even that far along the line. It's only like, you know, a few days. Crusaders are an awesome side. This is such a hard game. The positive is everyone will have played a bit of rugby. Yeah. Okay, they'll have been together. The jet lag will have gone. And I also envisage a much stronger team for that Crusaders team. I mean, I am looking ahead, but possibly you've got front row of Mako, George, Furlong, Cruz, Wyn Jones in the second row, maybe Moriarty, Warburton, Faletau again. You know, that's really strong pack, probably the best they'll have put out, plus they've had training time. It's crucial. It's probably the hardest game there. Early in the tour, Crusaders are awesome. Lions are still building into the tour. Can't wait. Fantastic.
So very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Very exciting, guys. We'll see you hopefully on Wednesday after that game against the Blues. See if the Lions can really kick their tour off or not. And maybe we'll have a little special for you on Thursday. That's a bit of a secret. We'll see. And then again on Saturday.
It's one of the world's worst kept secrets now. He's just told everyone.
Well, yeah, but yeah, okay. There's a secret, but you don't know what it is. Okay, cool. Until next time, guys, enjoy rugby.
Thanks for watching.